Hi, welcome back. In this lecture, we will be exploring how the REST API endpoints can throw the exceptions. See, in a real enterprise application, whenever the given input or any other issues occur during the runtime, it is possible that the REST API endpoint can throw the exception. Like for example, here we have delete mapping. Okay, see, this is an example which we have already seen in the earlier in the previous lectures. So that is the reason I'm not going in depth explaining the current application. Okay, so mostly we'll be focusing on the adding the new functionality which will support exception handling. Okay, right. See, for example, here we have delete customer and we are given with the ID as a path variable. So it may happen that the given ID is not valid. For example, the given ID is a negative. Okay. So in that case, I want to throw an exception in that specific case, and whenever that exception is being thrown, I just want to give some specific HTTP status code to the client along with some additional information whichever I want to send. Okay, right. So let's get started. See, basically, whenever you want to handle throwing of an exception from the REST API endpoint, so there are some basic things which you need to perform. Okay, so I just try to document here in the main application. So let's try to quickly spend a few minutes on this, then we will be going and implementing the code for this. See, the first thing is you need to create a custom exception by extending from the class runtime exception. Okay, so basically we are trying to create a unchecked exception. Okay, fine. So this is the first step. This you are already familiar in the core Java in exception handling you might be seeing. Okay, so we'll be doing in the same way. Next, now we need to create another class which acts as an exception controller, and you need to annotate that with the @controller advice. See, basically, we need to provide the mapping between the exception and the functionality what need to be done when that exception occurs. Okay, so all that specific mappings you will be providing in @controller advice, and for each such mapping you need a method. Okay, you need a method. Here in our case we are having only one custom exception, so that is the reason we will be having only one method, and it is being annotated with exception handler to specify that we are mapping this specific custom exception and the corresponding functionality. The functionality is like what exactly you will be responding to the client, what is the status code you will be giving, and any specific message you are giving. It's not necessarily that it need to be a string message, even it can be an object. Of course, it will be marshaled or unmarshaled by or serialized or deserialized by the Jackson. Okay, so it can even be an object. So in some of the applications, if you see, like this will be an object of some class which is a Pojo class and has additional details like when the exception has been thrown and which is the URL which was trying to be hit, etc. So if you have any such requirement, you can do that. Okay, so but in this application we are trying to keep it simple, basically just to keep our understanding on the exception handling part simple, right? So the finally is, so just throw the exception from wherever it is appropriate from the REST API endpoints and finally check it's working. Okay, so in the meanwhile what I'll do is let me try to open the Postman tool and keep it open. Now let us start coding. See, just to keep simple, I'm putting everything in a single package, and okay, in the coming lectures we'll be exploring how we can have multiple sub packages and how we can have the different layers in that. Okay, so what I'll do is first I'll try to create a class, and we'll say something like customer customer ID invalid exception. Okay, so I'm creating a class and I'm naming it as customer ID invalid exception. Fine. So I have created the class. So let us extend it from runtime exception so that it will be a unchecked exception. That is up to you. You want to have any additional functionality here or the constructor or whichever. Fine. So I'll just leave it empty. Next. What is the next point? So the next point is we need to create the exception controller class. So let me try to create one more class and I will just name it as, okay, customer exception controller. Okay, so basically this is the class which you will be annotating with @controller advice. Okay, so I'm just annotating this with @controller advice. Basically this is the global exception handler of this application. Okay, so I'm importing this. Now I need to have a method which will handle the functionality when that exception occurs. Clear? So generally that method need to return the response entity with the string which you will be sending to the client when this exception is occurring along with the HTTP status code. So what I'll be doing is I'll be having a response entity as a return type of it. Let me put it as object and I'll name this as exception and the parameter to this, yeah, before going ahead, let us try to import the package for response entity. See here, it is the same exception, okay, which will be throwing from there. That will be the parameter to this. So I'll name it as, will specify the object of that exception class as a parameter. Okay, right. So I'll just say, okay, let me specify it as exception. Okay, and one more thing is, see, for this method, since it has a special purpose, okay, whenever the exception is occurring, this is the handler part. So you need to annotate this with exception handler, perform the actual functionality whichever it is required. But in my case, I want to keep it very simple. Okay, and when you are using exception handler, you can be more specific to specify this class as a parameter so that whenever this exception occurs only, okay, this method is being called. Now I do not want to have much functionality here. I just want to return the object of response entity with a simple string. Since it is generic type, so I'll try to put generic operator here. Fine. Next, I'll say customer ID is invalid in the string. Along with this, I also need to specify the corresponding HTTP status code. HTTP status dot see, as you see, there are a number of HTTP status codes. So basically it is not found for us. So we need not worry about what is the 400 series or 300 series HTTP status code. You can directly use this one. Okay, fine. So basically we created the custom exception and we have the handler part ready. Now the next point is we need to go to the controller, REST controller. See, this is the REST controller. In the REST controller, I'll try to pick one of the REST endpoint. Okay, I'll try to pick one of the REST endpoint and specify. Maybe I'll try to take it for delete, or maybe I can take it for even for the update customer, because see, in the update customer, I'm giving the customer ID number one, and number two, the customer data. Okay, which customer we want to update and the data with which we want to update. Okay, so maybe we can check if the ID is negative or something. If it is negative, then you can throw the exception. Okay, so if ID is less than 0, then I want to throw the exception. So throw new. Okay, I'll be specifying the exception like this. Next, since this exception is throwing, okay, I'll just mention it as throws customer invalid exception. So, okay, almost we are through with the coding part. See, due to modularity reasons, having the exception in a different class and having a different class for the exception controller required, it can be in a different class and even in a different packages. Okay, so you can have a different package as an exception, and you can try to put all that functionality, exception related functionality on that, and you can import that specific package in this REST controller, because you need to use that class names, right? Exception class names. Fine. Now let us try to see how it works. So first let me check which is the port on which it is running, because on my system 8080 is occupied, so I have 8089. Fine. So let me start the application. This is not a full-fledged application with the entity class or with the service layer, repository, etc. So anyway, all this exception functionality you can add there as well. You don't need any other additional changes for this to handle the exceptions even in that full-fledged application. And we will be exploring that full-fledged application in the coming lectures, which actually interacts with the database. Fine. So the application is booted up. As you see here, the application is booted up. So let me go ahead and hit the REST endpoint. So localhost /customers and I need to specify the ID. Okay, and it is a put method. So let us go to the Postman tool. Let me see if I have. Fine, let us try to create the request manually. So it is a put request, and it is 8089, the port number, as we have seen, and 8089, and it is customers / first I'll try to give some valid customer. Valid in the sense we are not going to DB and check, but at least we are checking that it is positive. If it is positive, okay, if it is positive, then we will not, the exception is not being thrown. Okay, else it's being thrown. Fine. I think we are good with the request, but we have to send the body here, the JSON. So the sample body for this application I have provided here. So you can take this and we can put it in the body. So I think we are good. I think ID, name, age, active, you can go to cross check quickly with the ID, name, age, active. Yes, those are matching, so that's fine. Now let me try to hit the REST endpoint. So I'm not expecting the exception. So I didn't get the exception. Moreover, I'm getting the status code at 200, and even the string in the response body, I did not receive it as anything like customer ID is invalid or not. So let me do one thing, friends. Now, what I'll do is I'll try to make it something like negative. I'll make it as maybe -12. Okay, and let me try to hit the same REST endpoint. So as we see here, our exception handler is getting activated because it is a negative. Okay, so customer ID is invalid, and we are getting that status not found. Basically, it is mapped to 404 HTTP status code. Okay, so this is the way how you handle exceptions in a real enterprise applications. Okay, so here in this example, we kept the handling part bit simple. I'm just giving a string. So in the coming lectures, I'll be providing, maybe instead of a string, I'll give some other object. Okay, and let that be an object of our Pojo class. And basically, we'll be adding more details to that, like at what time the exception has occurred and what is the URL or any other additional details along with that object, so that it gets displayed to the client here, and there will be more information available to the client to act accordingly. Fine. Or maybe the version of the API endpoint is wrong, or anything could be the reason. Okay, so you can have a custom object here, basically, which provides additional details, more additional details about the exception which has occurred. Okay, so thank you.